The Galactic Council had ruled the known universe for 10,000 years. Their massive fleet of golden ships orbited above Earth, broadcasting their ultimatum across every frequency. Commander Krell stood on the bridge of his flagship, looking down at the blue planet with 4 eyes that had seen 100 worlds surrender. Primitive species Earth, his translator boomed across space. You have 3 solar rotations to submit to Council rule. Resistance means extinction. The Council expected immediate surrender. They always got it. Their database showed Earth had only achieved faster than light travel 2 years ago. The humans possessed maybe 50 small vessels, outdated by galactic standards. This would be another easy conquest, but Earth's response came not in words, but in action. A single ship emerged from behind Earth's moon. It was not sleek like Council vessels. It was not beautiful. The Terran Battleship looked like a massive gray brick, covered in armor plates and weapon ports. It was ugly, brutal, and absolutely massive, 3 times larger than Krell's flagship Captain. James stood on the bridge of the TNS Defiance, humanity's first true warship. His crew of 500 had trained for this moment. Earth's governments had known this day would come. While they sent diplomats to smile and negotiate with alien visitors, humanity's best minds had worked in secret. They studied every piece of alien technology they could find. They learned. They adapted. They improved. "Sir, the alien commander is hailing us," reported Lieutenant Smith. "Ignore it," James ordered. "Target their flagship's engine core. Fire when ready." The Council fleet watched in confusion as the human ship moved forward. Where were the negotiations? Where were the pleas for mercy? Protocol demanded communication before combat. The Defiance fired, not energy beams like the Council used. Not plasma bursts. The humans fired simple metal slugs, but accelerated to 90% the speed of light by magnetic rails that ran the entire length of their ship. The projectile punched through Krell's shields like they were made of paper. It tore through 3 decks and destroyed the engine core in a single shot. The flagship listed to one side, venting atmosphere and bodies into space. Impossible. Krell gasped, gripping his command chair. "Our shields are rated for." "Sir, they're firing again." His tactical officer screamed. The Defiance launched a full barrage. 20 railgun slugs streaked across space. Council ships tried to dodge, but the projectiles were too fast. Shields designed to stop energy weapons meant nothing against simple kinetic force multiplied by incredible velocity. Ships exploded. Others split in half. The perfect formation of the Council fleet became chaos in seconds. Admiral White watched from Earth's command center, surrounded by generals and presidents. "Launch the rest of the fleet," he ordered. "All ships, engage at will." 49 more. Human vessels emerged from hidden positions. They came from behind asteroids, from underwater bases, from underground hangars. Each one was built for war, not beauty. They swarmed the Council fleet like angry wasps. The Council had never faced anything like this. Their wars were ceremonial affair ships dancing in space, trading energy beams until one side's shields failed and they surrendered. But humans didn't dance. They hammered. They rammed. One human destroyer actually collided with a Council cruiser on purpose, both ships exploding in nuclear fire. Madness. Krell watched his fleet burn. Don't they care about their own survival? His science officer checked the readings twice. "Commander, their ships ... They have no shields at all. They put all power into weapons and engines. They're using armor plates and ... and accepting casualties as inevitable." The Council had forgotten what real war looked like. But humans remembered. Their history was written in blood and conquest. Where other species evolved past violence, humans had refined it into an art form. Every human ship was a testament to Thousands of years of warfare evolution. The TNS Defiance moved through the battlefield like death itself. Its railguns never stopped firing. Its missile bays opened, releasing swarms of nuclear warheads. Its point defense systems turned incoming fire into scrap metal dot in less than an hour. The unstoppable Council fleet was reduced to burning wreckage orbiting Earth. Asterisk Commander Krell floated in his damaged bridge. Emergency power failing. Only 12. Council ships remained functional, out of the original 100. They huddled together, shields overlapping, trying to retreat. But the human ships surrounded them like predators circling wounded prey. The Council had ruled through fear and superior technology for millennia. They had forgotten that technology meant nothing without the will to use it effectively. Now they learned what humans had always known in war. Brutality often beats sophistication. Captain James opened a channel to the surviving Council ships. His face appeared on their screens, not angry, not gloating, just coldly professional. Council vessels, you are disabled and surrounded. Surrender now, and we will accept you as prisoners of war under Earth conventions. You have 60 seconds to comply. This is impossible, Krell muttered. His second-in-command, a tall creature named Vaor, trembled beside him. The humans are classified as Level 2 civilization. We are Level 5. How can they, Commander, Vaor? Interrupted, studying his console. I'm analyzing their weapons. The technology is primitive, but the application is genius. They took basic magnetic acceleration and scaled it up beyond anything we imagined. Their computers calculate trajectory and impact with precision we never needed because our shields always held. The truth hit Krell like one of those railgun slugs. The Council had grown soft. They relied on shields and energy weapons because that's what civilized species did. They followed rules of engagement that hadn't changed in 5,000 years. But humans had no such restrictions. They built weapons to kill, not to duel. On Earth, Admiral White stood before the United Nations. Assembly. Representatives from every nation watched as he delivered humanity's response to the galaxy. For 2 years, you visited our world, White said. You smiled at us. You called us primitive. You shared just enough technology to make us dependent, planning to enslave us like you did hundreds of other worlds. But you made one mistake. You let us see your ships. You let us scan your technology. And you assumed we were too stupid to understand it. He paused, letting his words sink in. Humans have been fighting wars since we learned to walk upright. We've turned killing into science. Every advancement we've made started as a way to defeat our enemies. You thought our violent history was weakness, but it was preparation. We didn't overcome our nature, we weaponized it. The screens showed footage of human factories hidden underground. For 2 years, while diplomats shook hands with alien visitors, Earth had been building. Every nation contributed. Old enemies worked together. Russia shared armor technology. America provided railgun designs. China built the reactors. Europe designed the targeting systems. Even small nations contributed rare materials and personnel. You want to know our secret? Admiral White continued. We assumed you would betray us. We prepared for war while talking peace. And we didn't build ships to fight fair. We built them to win. Back in space, Krell's 60 seconds expired. He looked at his remaining crew, seeing fear in their many eyes. The Council hadn't felt fear in generations. They were administrators, not warriors. Their military was for show, for intimidation. They had forgotten that real warriors didn't care about shows. We surrender, Krell transmitted. Under your Earth conventions, we surrender. Captain James nodded. Smart choice. Prepare to be boarded. Any resistance will result in immediate destruction of your vessels. Human Marines crossed the void between ships, wearing powered armor that looked primitive but worked perfectly. They carried chemical-propelled projectile weapons ancient, by galactic standards, but devastatingly effective. The Council crew didn't resist. How could they? Their energy weapons were designed to overload shields, not penetrate armor. Their combat training involved elegant martial arts, not the brutal efficiency of human close-quarters combat. As the Marines secured the Council ships, one young private named Jones looked around the alien bridge in wonder. The technology was beautiful crystalline displays, flowing architecture, surfaces that seemed to glow from within. But none of it had helped them in battle. "Sir," Jones asked his sergeant, "why didn't they fight harder? They have all this advanced stuff." Sergeant Miller, a veteran of Earth's last war, shrugged. "Same reason a master swordsman loses to a guy with a gun, kid. They got so advanced they forgot the basics. They fight with rules. We fight to win." The captured Council fleet was brought to Earth's moon base. For the first time in 10,000 years, Council ships were prisoners. The news would spread across the galaxy within days. The unstoppable Council had been stopped, and by a species they considered barely civilized. Asterisk. The galactic community received the news with disbelief. The Council defeated? By humans? It had to be propaganda, a trick, a misunderstanding. 500 worlds demanded proof. They got it when Earth broadcast footage of the battle across every communication network in known space. Representatives from dozens of species gathered on the neutral station of Harmony Point. They watched the footage in stunned silence. The brutal efficiency of human weapons, the calculated aggression of their tactics, the complete lack of mercy in their assault. Ambassador Thren of the Altari spoke first. "This cannot be real. The humans have only been spacefaring for 2 years. How could they develop such weapons?" "They didn't develop them," said Ambassador Grix of the Morvac Union. "Look closer at the technology. It's all primitive concepts taken to extreme levels. Magnetic acceleration exists on every world, but only humans thought to use it as a primary weapon. Nuclear weapons are banned by civilized species, but humans mass-produce them." On Earth, Captain James stood before the captured commander. Krell in the interrogation room. It wasn't a harsh space humans followed their Geneva Convention, even with aliens. Krell sat in a chair designed to accommodate his 4-legged frame, unrestrained but under guard. "I need to understand," Krell said. "My people have records going back 50,000 years. We've conquered or absorbed every species we've encountered. Our technology is superior in every way. How did you defeat us in a single battle?" James pulled up a holographic display showing Earth's history. "You want to know our secret, Commander? Look at this." Images flashed by ancient battles, world wars, nuclear explosions, devastated cities, mass graves. "This is our history." James explained. 6,000 years of recorded warfare. We've killed more of our own kind than the Council has killed in all their conquests combined. Every generation, we got better at it, more efficient, more deadly. He changed the display to show Council battles from their own records. "Now look at your history. Your wars are ceremonies. Ships disable each other's shields, then the loser surrenders. You haven't had a real war with casualties in 3,000 years. You've forgotten how to fight dirty." Krell's 4 eyes focused. On one particular image, a human battlefield from their First World War. Primitive by any standard, but the carnage was absolute. "You glorify this violence?" "No." James shook his head. "We hate it, we fear it, but we never forget it. Every human child learns about our wars, not to celebrate them, but to remember their cost. You conquered through intimidation. We survived through adaptation." Meanwhile, on Harmony Point, the gathered ambassadors debated frantically. If humans could defeat the Council, what did that mean for the galaxy's power structure? "We should unite against them," suggested Ambassador Thren, before they conquer us all. With what? Ambassador Grix laughed bitterly. Our fleets are built on the same principles as the Council's. Energy weapons and shields. The humans proved those are useless against their kinetic weapons. A new voice joined the discussion. Ambassador Kelly walked into the chamber representing Earth. She was a middle-aged woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. The room fell silent. Honored representatives, Kelly began. Earth has a message for the galactic community. We are not conquerors. We don't want your worlds. We want trade, cultural exchange, and peaceful coexistence. But you just destroyed the Council fleet. Thren protested. No, Kelly corrected. We defended ourselves against an invasion. The Council came to enslave us. We responded. That's what humans do. We respond to threats with overwhelming force to ensure they never threaten. U.S. again. She activated a hologram showing Earth's new fleet, now numbering 200 ships, all built in the 2 years since first contact. But we've also shown mercy. The Council prisoners are being treated well. We're even sharing some of our medical technology to treat their wounded. Because humans understand the difference between defeating an enemy and destroying them. Back in the interrogation room, Krell had started to understand. You prepared for this from the moment you met us. From before that, James admitted. The moment we detected your first probe entering our system 3 years ago, we started preparing. We smiled when you arrived. We traded. We learned. But we also built weapons, trained soldiers, and united our entire species for the first time in history. Because we know one truth you forgot. What truth? Krell asked. Peace is not the absence of war. It's the presence of strength that makes war unnecessary. You had power but no strength. We had less power but more strength. And in real combat, strength wins. 6 months had passed since the Battle of Earth. The galaxy had changed forever. The Council's iron grip was broken. Their remaining forces scattered across their core worlds, too afraid to venture out. Meanwhile, Earth had become the most talked-about planet in known space. Captain James, now promoted to Admiral, stood in Earth's new orbital command center. The structure was purely human in design, functional, heavily armored, and bristling with weapons. No elegant curves or crystalline beauty like Council stations. Just pure military efficiency. Sir, we have incoming ships at the jump point, Lieutenant Smith reported. 12 vessels, various configurations. They're transmitting diplomatic codes. Our guests have arrived, James said. Open the hangar bay, but keep weapons hot. Trust, but verify. The ships that entered Earth space represented something unprecedented. Free worlds coming to humanity not as conquerors or subjects, but as equals seeking alliance. For 10,000 years, the Council had maintained order through force. Now, these worlds saw another auction. Ambassador Kelly met with the alien delegates in the station's conference room. Representatives from the Altari, Morvok, Zelen, and 9 other species sat around a simple metal table. No ornate decorations, no ceremonial robes, just beings discussing survival. The Council is demanding we cut all contact with Earth, Ambassador. Thren said. They threaten to blockade any world that trades with you. Let them try, said Ambassador Gork of the Zelen. His species had been under Council control for 3,000 years. What fleet will they use? The humans destroyed their main force. Their remaining ships hide behind planetary shields. Kelly stood, addressing the room. Earth proposes something different. Not an empire like the Council, but an alliance. Free. Trade, mutual defense, shared technology. Each world maintains sovereignty, but stands together against threats. And if we refuse? Thren asked. Then you refuse. Kelly shrugged. We're not the Council. We won't force anyone to join. But remember, the Council will return eventually. They'll rebuild, rearm, and seek revenge. When that happens, do you want to face them alone? On Earth's surface, in a secure facility, human scientists worked alongside Commander Krell. A former Council military leader had made an unexpected choice. He offered to share his knowledge in exchange for asylum. Not betrayal of military secrets, but understanding of galactic politics and technology. Your weapons are devastating, Krell explained to the human researchers. But you lack in other areas: medical technology, food production, energy generation. The Council hoarded these advances to maintain control. I can teach you. Dr. Anderson, Earth's lead scientist, studied the alien formulae. Why help us? We defeated your people. You defeated the Council's military, Krell corrected. But many Council citizens never wanted to be conquerors. We were born into the system, raised to believe it was the only way. You've shown there's another path. He pulled up stellar maps showing Council space. There are factions within the Council who want peace. Scholars, traders, artists, beings who join for protection, not conquest. If Earth shows strength and mercy, these factions might support change from within. Back at the conference, negotiations continued. The Morvuk wanted guarantees that human weapons wouldn't be turned against them. The Altari sought trade agreements for their advanced agriculture. The Zelen offered mineral resources in exchange for military protection. We have one condition, Kelly announced. Any world that joins the Earth Alliance must contribute to collective defense, not conquest, but protection. If one member is attacked, all respond. Like your NATO from Earth history? Thren had done his research. Similar, but improved, Kelly confirmed. We learned from our mistakes. No single species dominates. Decisions require majority vote, and everyone contributes based on ability: military, economic, or technological. Admiral James monitored the discussions from the command center. His tactical display showed the current state of the galaxy. Council space had shrunk 30 core worlds. Hundreds of formerly controlled systems declared independence. Some fell into chaos, but many sought new alliances. It's happening faster than we predicted, Smith observed. The Council's empire is collapsing. Empires built on fear always do. James replied, once someone stands up to the bully, others find courage. But this is the dangerous time. The Council still has resources. They'll strike back eventually. A priority message arrived from Earth's Deep Space Monitoring Station. James read it twice before calling Kelly. Asterisk. Ambassador, we have a problem. Long-range sensors detect massive energy signatures in Council core space. They're building something big. Kelly excused herself from negotiations and joined James at the command center. The sensor data showed energy readings beyond anything previously recorded. How long do we have? She asked. 6 months, maybe less, James calculated. Whatever they're building, it's designed to end this rebellion permanently. Asterisk. The Council's response came. Exactly 6 months later, a single ship emerged from hyperspace near Earth, but this was no ordinary vessel. The Council had combined their remaining resources to build one superweapon, a dreadnought the size of a small moon. Its surface bristled with weapons, and its shields pulsed with energy that bent space itself. Admiral James stood on the bridge of the TNS Defiance, now flagship of the Earth Alliance fleet. 200 human ships and 300 allied vessels formed up behind him. It was the largest fleet ever assembled, but it looked tiny compared to the monstrosity before them. This is Supreme Commander, Vex of the Council Restoration. A voice boomed across all channels. You have one chance. Surrender now, dissolve your alliance, and accept Council rule. Or be annihilated, James opened a channel to his fleet. All ships, you know the plan. We get one shot at this. Make it count. The battle began differently than before. The Council had learned from their defeat. Their dreadnought's shields adapted to kinetic impacts, deflecting railgun rounds. Its weapons fired in all directions, creating a kill zone no ship could enter. But humans had learned too. Phase 1 execute, James ordered. 50 small human ships, barely corvettes, accelerated to maximum speed and dove straight at the dreadnought. The Council weapons destroyed them instantly, but that was the plan. Each ship was unmanned, remotely controlled, and packed with nuclear warheads. Their destruction created a cloud of radiation and debris that temporarily blinded the dreadnoughts. Sensors. Phase 2 now. Allied ships using Morvac cloaking technology materialized inside the sensor blind spot. They deployed mines, thousands of them, each containing compressed antimatter provided by the Zelen. The mines attached to the dreadnought's hull like barnacles. Supreme Commander Vex realized the trap too late. Clear those mines. All weapons, defensive fire. But Phase 3 had already begun. The Earth Alliance's main fleet opened fire not at the dreadnought, but at precise points in space around it. The barrage wasn't meant to destroy, but to herd, to force the massive ship to move in a specific direction. What are they doing? Vex demanded. Then his sensors detected it, a massive asteroid, hollowed out and converted into humanity's greatest weapon. Inside was a railgun 30 kilometers long, a weapon so large it could only fire once before destroying itself. Captain Rodriguez commanded the asteroid base. Target locked, the dreadnought is in position. The projectile wasn't just metal. Humans had learned from their enemies and their allies. The slug contained Altari energy converters, Morvac shield disruptors, and Zelen antimatter cores. It was wrapped in the same armor that protected human ships. It was, essentially, a bullet designed to kill a god. Fire, Rodriguez ordered. Asteroid split in half from the recoil. The projectile crossed space at 95% the speed of light. The dreadnought's shields, already weakened by the antimatter mines, held for exactly 1.3 seconds. Before failing, the impact was visible from Earth's surface. The superweapon that took the Council 6 months to build was torn in half. Secondary. Explosions chained through its structure as antimatter cores detonated. In less than a minute, the unstoppable dreadnought became an expanding cloud of debris. But the victory came at a cost. 100 Alliance ships were destroyed in the battle. Thousands of lives lost. The asteroid base was gone, along with Captain Rodriguez and his volunteer crew. Supreme Commander Vex's escape pod was captured by human Marines. As he was brought aboard the Defiance, he saw something that broke his understanding of warfare. The humans were crying. They had won, but they mourned their losses. Victory celebrations mixed with funeral rites. "I don't understand," Vex said to Admiral James. "You won. Why do you grieve?" "Because every life lost diminishes us," James replied. "We fight because we must, not because we enjoy it. That's the difference between us and the Council. You fought for domination. We fight for survival." The aftermath changed everything. The Council formally dissolved, its member species either joining the Earth Alliance or forming their own peaceful coalitions. The Age of Empires ended, replaced by an age of cooperation. Earth became not the ruler of the galaxy, but its guardian. Human ships patrolled trade routes, protecting merchants from pirates. Human negotiators mediated disputes between species. Human technology, both military and civilian, was shared freely with Alliance members. In the end, humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their railguns or their tactics. It was their paradox, a species capable of terrible violence, but choosing peace, strong enough to conquer, but wise enough not to. The galaxy had learned the most important lesson: never threaten Earth. Not because humans were the strongest, but because when threatened, they became something unstoppable united. Asterisk.